can feel your pain. But if you just could get over it, maybe someone will empty your mind. Girl, I'ma make it better. Now can we dim the light? Let's make a toast and it will be alright. Cheers to you, for you, baby. Yeah. No angel, no angel, young man. Cheers to you, cheers to you, baby. Yeah. No angel, you understand me, young man. You say, I know we can win, and you can depend on me through the big and thin to the very end. I got your back, so open your heart and let me come on in, and I'll be your king, and you be the queen of my heart and soul. Anything I treasure. So let me ease your mind, and let's make a toast that it'll be alright. Your angel, yes, your angel. Cheers to you for giving me a chance. Your angel, you hear me, baby? Cheers to you. I thank you, lady. Your angel, that I'll be your Lord. Cheers to you. Hey, baby. Ooh, baby. Your angel, young man. What a love, girl. Yeah. I will be there for the love. I'm gonna be right there for you. Baby, I care for you. Yeah, yeah. What a love, what a love, what a love, what a love is waiting for you. The love. I will be there for your love. Gonna be right there. Yeah. Are you listening, baby? Your angel now. I will protect you.
Real Hip Hop Heads Radio Live. This is what it's all about. Real Hip Hop Heads Radio Live.
Are you down for the real?
Well, I'm out to have a real good time, and I ain't wanna try to fade me, but friends of yours are friends of mine, so don't even try to play me. If you don't have nothing good to say, the words will be withholding. These kind of games a girl will play, just like Mother told me so. Here we go, going through the same thing. Here we go again. Now this ain't the time to make a scene, because I'm out with my homies. I know you know just what I mean, so don't just walk up on me. There's a time and there's a place where we can talk about it, cause I don't wanna be disgraced with all your screams and shouting. Here we go, going through the same thing. Here we go again.
Climb the mountain. What mountain? Swim the sea. What sea? See what I mean? No, I don't know, but I don't want to get too deep.
know how I feel about you. So don't you take my words in vain. You know I can't live without you. I need some time to unwind. So try to be understanding. I hope that you will change your mind instead of being so demanding. Here we go. The same thing. I don't know that. The same thing. Here we go. Here we go. The same thing. Here we go. The same thing. Yo, kick it. Here we go. Yo, porch bit. There she goes. Here we go. Pump it up. Look at that.
Yeah. Peace. What's good? This is Brother Peace. You are tuned in to the hottest hip hop show on the land. What's your name?
Your wife, Sister A.
No, not that
What's
one.
your name?
Not
What's
that
your
one.
name?
Sister A.
Somebody been drinking.
Shit, not enough. Excuse me. Again, this is Brother Peace. You are now tuned in to Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio Show. Some people tell us this is the hottest show in the land. I'm in tune and inclined to believe in what you say, Sister A.
I agree.
Yeah, okay. You know what? And everybody, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and anybody else out there listening through any kind of Wi-Fi or whatever, if you're still on our Wi-Fi and you're catching the show, cool. We can run with that too. But the hottest show in the land, we've heard that from people, and we keep hearing it. But I also do know by some of the comments, and I also know by the material that we cover, you know, that a lot of people don't want to hear the station. Maybe because of the music, you know, you might, okay, hey, yeah, Adam, the music's hot, okay. But then when we get to getting into it, that's where the problem comes. But I wanted to let folks know, just so we could reiterate as far as why we're here. You know, this station was built for us, by us, okay? Everything you guys see here in this station, all this equipment, what we're doing here, nobody's paying us. Nobody paid us or helped us put any of this shit together. Nobody gave us any money. None of that. This shit came out of our pockets, and our pockets alone. Blood, sweat, and tears came out of our bodies and our pores just to put this down so we could get to you guys and explain and give you guys the information that's necessary and that's much needed in the communities, okay? Because we already know that our communities, they're torn apart. I mean, all the way into the household. There's no mom and dad. It's just basically mom and the kids. And then they've even, Mr. Oldface, he went even further than that and tore that apart. So where in the household where you have the mom and the kids and the mom, everybody in there, they're all fighting. They're all in division. Okay, so Mr. Oldface has done a very, very good job. Extremely good job at tearing the black family in the back, the fabric of the black family apart. Done a great job. Okay, it's been years in the making, centuries in the making, but all to be same, he's done that. Okay, we're the show that comes on to try to give people that necessary information, man. Tell people the other side of the coin. Okay, a lot of our folks, the 85% of our folks, is brainwashed. All right, and they really don't want to hear the information. That's why this station here, some people are like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know, some people say it's the best, but then on the other side of that, it is the worst because people don't want to hear what we have to say. The truth hurts, but it still needs to be said, because if we're uninformed, then we're unarmed. And as you know, we're fastly approaching the civil war, race war, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever the white people name it, whatever you want to call it. Actually, it's not approaching. It's actually here. Okay, we're just having small little battles all over the place. Okay, the big battle hasn't kicked off just yet, but it's going to. Okay, I think it's our responsibility as Black people, if we're living and able, we have the means to do so, and we have the knowledge that we need to tell us that this bullshit that we're going through is wrong. We've been trained, we've been brainwashed by these people, and we're worth so much more than what they measure us up to be. We're worth more than what they show us on TV. Okay, we're worth more than what they say on paper. We're worth more than what they give us at our job sites. Okay, we're worth more than whatever the hell they say. We're actually the original man, to be honest with you, but our people don't want to hear this because they've been trained by the old phase to not want to listen. They've been trained to believe what they see on TV, what they see in these commercials. Matter of fact, that Dove commercial with the black girl, she took off the shirt. When she took off the shirt, she was white.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I almost broke the TV, but it's all good. I'll pay for it. Fuck it. Now, but that girl in the commercial, remember I told you was telling us the story Tuesday. Did I not say them folks got to her?
Oh yeah.
Some silver-tongued dude or female got to her and explained it in such a way to where she's like, oh, I want to be a part of that. Okay, but then as soon as the commercial hit, everybody's seen it. Everybody quickly caught on to what the fuck that was and the message that it actually sent, except her. She came out and tried to defend it.
Yeah, because she thought she was making a change, but really you didn't.
That's all they told you. But see, this is what happens when we have our people out here doing things, okay? You listen to them, but you won't listen to us.
I just saw another Dove commercial. I mean, it didn't have the shirt, but it was a sister first, and then it went down to the white people, and I'm like, after seeing the previous commercial, I'm like, yeah, y'all are up to something. You ain't slick.
Exactly.
Y'all ain't slick.
You know what? To be honest, they can make an argument for everything that we say, everything wrong that we point out. They can make an argument for it. They actually have an argument already set in place, ready to go. As soon as you say it, they press play. Bam, it's there. But just because they have an argument for the bullshit does not make it right. You ain't no dummy. Like I told you, they'll sit there like Trump is doing now with the Kaepernick protest. Okay, Kaepernick is protesting, or he's protesting the flag, what the flag symbolizes, and that's the brutality against people of color in this country. Okay, he never mentioned that he's protesting the military and all these other things they're saying in the country that represents those people that actually brutalize people of color. If you want to throw that in there, you can throw that in there too. It falls up under that. Okay, but Trump and the rest of them, they're continually telling you it's the flag, it's the country, it's the military, and it's everything else, football that is disrespecting. There's all these other things because they know if they keep telling you that and they keep showing you little images on TV, no matter what Kaepernick is saying, you're going to keep looking at that TV and listening to them. You're going to start believing what they say. All they got to do is just say it enough. And then you start to look at Kaepernick like, well, damn.
Yeah.
It really ain't that bad. I mean, like Dick said, he said something to the effect of, in an interview on the radio, he didn't know or realize there was anything wrong in this country as far as black people are concerned, any civil affairs or whatever. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then he came back and cleaned it up and said, oh, no. I didn't mean in the country in the last 100 years. I meant in football. Yeah, well, you know what you said in the last 100 years, you haven't noticed or known of any civil wrongdoings or whatever towards black people. But then when they fired on your ass and shit, then you came back and said, oh, no, I meant in football. Come on, dude. Lying ass, but this further goes to show how these people are. They don't want to visit or reform or overhaul the damn police system. They do not want to do that because they got it in place like that on purpose. That's why they're trying really hard to get Kaepernick's protest changed to something else, because they don't want to go back and do no police reform. They don't want to change the shit. The police are their soldiers on the front line.
Absolutely.
Those are their foot soldiers, okay? That's their infantry. So you're in a battle, you're not going to pull your infantry off. That's your fighting force. But we're here to let people know just what we're talking about right now, that you've been hoodwinked, been bamboozled. If you already know this, cool, fight the power. Tell the next person over there. There's 85% of the black folks, dude, that have no clue. Okay? And most of them don't even want to fucking know. But they don't know that they need to hear these things. All right?
Yep.
I mean, really, we tell the people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. What they want to hear is something about some black folks getting shot up and blasted on and booty shaking and ass clapping and dope slanging and all that shit. That's what they want to hear, because they take that right back into their households, teach their own kids that shit. They get on the street and they're hanging all over a fucking pole. This dude got a pistol blasting his own brother. That's what they want to hear, but that's not what they need to hear. They need to hear what we're talking about. We're trying to uplift our people. You guys stay tuned.
Coming right back at you, baby. Part 2. If I ever fall in love again, next time the lady will be just like you.
The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello and I said hi. I knew right then you were the one. But I was caught up in physical attraction. But to my satisfaction, baby, you're more than just a fan. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love, so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. Yeah, baby, yeah. My. I swear the next time she'll be my friend. Yeah. If I say that I can be your one and only, promise that you'll never leave me lonely. I just wanna be the one you need. Oh, baby. I just wanna be the one to serve you. Sometimes I feel as if I don't deserve you. I cherish every moment that we share. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love, so true, baby, I will be sure that the lady just like you.
Hey, baby, I made a promise. The next time I fell in love, that my love would also be my friend. Somebody would be there for me through thick and thin, to love me, to hold me, comfort me. Somebody could be there with me all through the night. Somebody just like you.
My friend, next time she will be my
friend, someone who I can be my friend. Very next time she will be my friend. Very next time she will be my friend, someone who I can believe in. Very next time she will be my friend. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady's a friend. I ever fall in love, so deep, so true, baby. I will be sure that the lady's just like you. If I ever fall in love, I wanna know sure that Tell me, why did you do this to me? After we made plans for a family, and you swear you would bear my child, all the while you were out running wild with your friends spinning all my ends. And I caught you screaming, ooh, I'm with him. I think it's time I let you know you can go, that's the door. You're nothing but a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. So I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing but a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. So I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing but 7 years I've lived this life. When inside you made me cry. Through it all, I still remain. Till you messed up and called me his name. Please don't explain. You go your way and I'll maintain. Don't worry, the kids are okay. Just remember you made it in a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. Said I'm taking house, car, kids, and the dogs. I want it all. You're nothing but a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. So I'm taking everything. The kids and the dog, I want it all. You nothing but. Look at you now, look at you now. Cause you're down and out, down and out. And you need keep you strong, keep you strong. You never face your way.
It's about to go down.
Yes, so down.
Yes.
With Sister Ambition.
I need your undivided attention.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel so loved. You remember my name? Yay. Anyway, this is Sister A with Social Media Madness, and I'm gonna go ahead and read a comment real quick before I get into my stuff. This was from Sherman, the caveat off of Brother Peace. He said they tell us not to bring up the past with our past is our present day. Racism they don't know about because the system benefits them. And then he also said you can't identify with racism if you've never been a victim. So therefore, they become insensitive, I think, and not to mention how arrogant they can be by nature. I agree.
I agree 100%. And you know, like you
Absolutely.
said, they tell us not to live in the past, and they're always telling us
They're always good for
to
the
tell to
yeah.
always trying to tell us to, can we just let it go?
Get over it.
But
Yeah,
dude, get over it, let it go. Don't live in the past. Fool, we're reliving the goddamn past.
that's right.
History repeats itself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So what
Absolutely.
I'm looking at now is history repeating itself. I can only go back, like physically go back, as long as I've been living. Okay. And where the time that I can go back to is back there with the Black Panther Party and all of that, the BLA and all that going on. Yeah, I can go back that far. What I'm seeing now is the same shit. We got groups that are still stemming up and actually letting our people know, actually out there in the streets, you know, trying to fight this thing. Same thing. Now you got the FBI assessment that came out that we got our hands on. It's the same shit. We'll go into the show later on about COINTELPRO in the FBI counterterrorism division.
Okay, so this is gonna be the stand your ground in one straight clown edition. They're still going. Yeah, they're still going strong on this not standing for the flag. So this young lady, Texas teen,
Fuck 'em.
expelled exactly for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, sues the school. Well, apparently she's been doing this for 3 years. So why is the problem stemming now? For the past 3 years, her name's India Laundry, has been sitting while her classmates stand to swear the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. She says the pledge goes against everything she believes. So, but a week ago, she was expelled because she refused to stand during the pledge. And how this came about was, I guess she was in the principal's office, and when the Pledge of Allegiance came on, she didn't stand. So what ended up happening is they were like, "You need to stand," and she refused. So they were like, "Well, if you don't stand, then you're out of here." And she says, "I don't believe in it, so I'm not standing." So they were like, "Well, your mom has 5 minutes to get you from school, and if she's not here in 5 minutes, then the police are gonna escort you out." Well, her mom lives 30 minutes away from the school, so there
All
was no.
scare tactics.
Yeah, exactly. Needless to say, they expelled her from school, but a week later, they tried to get her in. They was like, "No, she can't come in." Exactly.
Fucking money.
And she
Give my
kept on.
goddamn money.
Finally, um, they ended up bringing her back into the school. She was able to come back because there's no law.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no law stating that they have to stand. And as long as the parents get permission and say, whatever the reason. So she just, like she said, she felt like this is what she needed to do from seeing past, you know, police atrocities and stuff with black people. And so she's been doing it for years. And of course, they asked her, was Kaepernick, it had anything to do with it? She was like, well, I've been doing it. Yeah, it was a plus. I'm glad that he did, but that's not the reason why. I've been doing this for 3 years. Well,
Yeah.
before he came out.
There's
So
people that have been doing it.
yeah, so she's, well, hell, you got Beast Mode who's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're suing the school,
I've
the
done it
family
myself.
file. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Go on, shut up.
yeah.
Shut your mouth. I'll shut your mouth.
Yeah, I've done it long before Kaepernick. And,
Yeah.
got the looks and shit, but a lot of people look at me and they're like, "Sure, I'm not saying nothing to him. Oh, I'm not fucking with him. I'm the big black guy, the big black threat and shit."
Well, first of all, that's your right. That is
Yeah.
your right. So yeah, they are. They're suing. Of course, the family, it's made headlines. And I don't blame them. I say sue the hell out their ass, because how you gonna tell her it's okay and then turn around and it's not okay? That don't make sense to me.
And
And because I guess what, it's so big now, it's pissing y'all off. She's been doing it for 3 years.
dude, that shit is broke containment. Straight up, that shit is broke containment. These white folks are so goddamn mad. And this is normally what happens when they get to the point where they lose control of something. That's when you really see where everybody what side everybody's on, because they start spouting off at the mouth. They start saying stupid shit. Then you really start to find out, oh, okay, now I see your true colors now.
Yeah.
They start to try to scare you.
Your white friends that you have on Facebook show their true damn color.
Yeah.
I done seen so many people who are supposed to be so cool Your white friends, you
Yep.
know, I have a white friend. And they show their entire ass. They show you how they really feel when some shit go down like this. Motherfuckers was pissed about OJ. Pissed. But it's all good.
Can you imagine the people that's following him around now that he's out?
Yeah, OJ better watch
You
his
ain't, but
back.
you ain't
I ain't
heard.
even gonna lie.
You ain't heard a word about OJ's release after he got released. That day, you have not heard a word about it.
I just heard OJ's no longer welcome in Florida.
Well, he can't leave Vegas. He was in jail in Vegas. He
Yeah,
can't leave Vegas.
They said Florida don't want him back. I'm like, who the fuck are y'all?
Exactly. Bunch of redneck racist ass swamp
Exactly.
people.
Who the fuck are y'all? But again, when I say stand your ground, this mom was upset about a sexually identity definition quiz at school. Here they go.
Transgender.
Yeah, well, the Cobb County School District in Georgia is facing backlash after a sexually identity assignment was given to sixth graders of Lithonia Middle School.
Sixth graders, huh?
Sixth graders. So what was happening is the health teacher assigned a quiz. It defined 10 sexual identity terms such as gay, lesbian, and transgender. And then the quiz required the sixth graders to identify between various sexual orientations and identities. So one mother, she was pissed. She was like, her 12-year-old daughter came home with the assignment, like, what the? She said, what? Why are they teaching that in school? And she said, what does that have to do with their everyday life? So she felt that it was inappropriate for school and that her daughter was too young to learn about all that sexual orientation and all that.
And this is the country that you want people to pledge allegiance to. Right there in the learning institution, you want to expel a child, and you're trying to teach her that kind of that kind of bullshit in that same in them schools. You want them to pledge allegiance to that. You don't want them to pray. You didn't got rid of you can't pray in school. Oh, would you better pledge allegiance to this shit? You're gonna teach youngsters about this gender identity shit and all that. Man, dude,
like
it sounds
she said,
like a
her daughter
dictatorship.
still watches Nickelodeon, so she's like, she's not ready to explain to her daughter what all that means. I mean, she don't understand that, so she said she's had a conversation with the health teacher, and the teacher said the material wouldn't be taught, but it was still in there. So she
is it part of the curriculum?
No.
Oh, that's just some shit.
Yeah, the teacher said it wasn't going to be taught, and the next thing you know, so she ended up having to get a signed consent form to remove her daughter out the class. You know, that's ridiculous. I mean, honestly, that's ridiculous.
You know what? The teacher should have been removed.
Thank you.
Because if that's not in the curriculum that's not in the curriculum, dude. You're not supposed to be teaching that shit.
Yeah, it's not part of the curriculum. And everybody doesn't want their kids to know that. I mean, a lot of kids 12 years old, I mean, nowadays it's so out there, but that's because y'all are putting it out there. But that ain't nothing that I stuck my child in health class to learn about. And you know damn well it ain't in the curriculum. So don't throw it out. See, that's some slick shit to me.
You know, it's slick because what they're doing, you know, when you're in school, you're taught that the teacher knows. Okay, that's the teacher. So if the teacher says it, then it must be true. If the teacher says it, then it's okay. I gotta learn it because that's what the teacher says. That's what you're taught coming all the way from grade school, all the way through school. Sit down and listen to the teacher. The teacher is the professional. They know. They teaching this. You teaching it. Now I gotta learn it. Okay. Not a big thing. So they're trying that bullshit on the youngsters.
Exactly.
And getting them when they're young. So they're permeating their brain. So when they become older, it's already done. Transformation is done. You done got to their brains. You done wash their brains of the normal shit and put in the abnormal shit.
My whole thing is first of all, if that's something you already know, you were slick teaching it, but that's something that you need to send a consent form to the parents first. If that's and it really has nothing to do with health to me, as far as I'm concerned. What the hell does that got to do with anything? Y'all are already trying to program them to get down with the
that's
get down.
That's a choice. But anyway,
and if you want to teach that in a different class. Everybody ain't down with that damn shit.
You teach that shit in college, okay? Where they have a choice to take that class if they want to or not.
We'll probably get blocked for talking about it, but so be it.
Hey, I mean,
I'm just gonna say, Danny better not come with that shit.
No, I was gonna be
And
problems.
she's a damn sophomore. I don't give two fucks. Don't bring that shit to me because I will go the fuck off. Because no, that's something y'all need to be coming across the parents with. And if that's what they want their kids to know, then put them in a different class. Because mine's ain't. She don't need to know all that. She see enough of that shit.
But imagine the kids that didn't that came home with the same assignment and their parents didn't say anything.
That's my point.
That's one.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the class? Their parents didn't say shit. They let that shit ride. Because how many parents now are actually paying attention to what their kids are doing in school? If they bring homework home, are you checking their homework? Are you asking them what they're doing? How many parents are doing that? The households are fucked up.
Well, obviously it was a sister.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. I mean, to each his own, but you're not finna teach mine that just because you what?
And you know what? It makes me question that if you taught that, how many times have you been talking about this? How many times have you taught this and got away with it?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you see, the one lady said something, but the rest, nobody else in the class said anything. That'd be white or black. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make a difference. I mean, damn, you taking people's choice away from them.
And that's absolutely. It's not even about being a hate crime or anything, but you're taking their choice away from them. Let them choose. Don't keep instilling it in their damn head. Let them choose. So anyway, we said stand your ground in one clown. So we're gonna get on this damn fool from Bronx. Manager at McDonald's. Apparently he was dishing up more than burgers and fries. This fool was busted for offering a side of cocaine in the Happy Meals. This fool
Damn.
had him a good old operation going on for about 3 months, but there was some undercovers coming in there getting the coke from him. He sold cops over $10,900 worth of cocaine in 8 separate sales. So this fool was giving it to him in the drive-through late at night.
Yeah.
And he got busted. So I'm like,
He said, "Okay, you know
he
what?
said, fuck this flipping burgers.
If you that goddamn clever, okay, you mean to tell me you couldn't put that mind to better use than that?
Thank you.
God damn.
They seized 200 grams of cocaine and 5,300 in cash, and his 2-year-old child was inside at the time when they got this fool. They arrested him at 5 in the morning. But I'm like, McDonald's. I've heard so many shady damn things about McDonald's. There have been needles in the ball pens, all kind of shit.
But you know what?
They food already gonna kill you. So
Exactly. So you up here, you mad at him because he's selling drugs, but the food that they're selling is poisonous.
Thank you. It's cocaine.
That's killing
itself.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's killing people. I didn't see you arresting that fucking clown.
It. Anyway, if you guys have been tuned in and you've been hearing some of the songs, we're going back on memory lane, but this is pertaining to the AMQ of the day, which was what was one of the most underrated R&B groups of the 90s. We got Shy, Portrait, Next, In Touch, Silk, Intro, The Fugees, Groove Theory, Troop, High Five, H Town, 702, As Yet, After 7, Janae, and Brownstone.
And don't forget, Ben Kingsley and the Mud Slaps. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Real with you, baby. Just gotta let you know. You've got the love that I want. That's right. The love that I need. What is born is butter, baby. Check this out. You're like my homie, my shorty. You've shown me so many things, and you're so special to me. We've been kicking it for a while. Your sexy smile, prima donna style. Ooh, you're driving me so wild. Ain't got no reputation, educated conversation. Ooh, you got that bomb love making. It's more than sexual. This love, is proper though. It's oh so incredible. You got the love that I want, the love you want. You got the love that I need, the love you need. So got it going on. Birds, bombs, sundress with platforms, feet pedicure with no corns. You got that sex appeal on the rip. So short, soft hands, French manicure, no makeup, you're so pure. You don't be tripping when I'm kicking it. You don't be questioning, embarrassing what I did. You got that confidence, sexiness, thickness that bombs. And I get when I'm chilling with my homies, think about it. I think about you all day. You know what I want. You got what I want. You know what it is. It's that love. All you gotta do is sit me on my kid, baby, and I will. 'Cause I'll rock you, girl. Butterman, you got the love that I want. You got the love that I need, yeah. Girl, it's so smooth. You got that butter love. Baby, don't sleep, you get there. You know you do. That love, oh yeah. So moving. You got that butter love. You got those sexy eyes and sexy thighs, you make me right. You got that love I wanna try. Send my tongue up and down your spine. You got that perfect shape, the love you make, I scream your name. Wanna take all your clothes off, sex you till the song goes on. I like your everything, your navel and your fingering. Sexy from head to toe, girl, never gonna let you go. You got that confidence, sexiness, thickness, that bomb. And I like it all. You got it going on, baby. You got that sex appeal on the real lady. You're like my homie, my shorty. You got that butter love. You got it going on, don't you know? That's for sure. I like your face and hands and all of your pretty toes. Baby, you're so right, you're lots right. You got that butter love.
The word is out. Real Hip Hop Heads Radio Live is your place for real knowledge, real hip hop. You better ask somebody.
Been chasing you for so long, and I feel, girl, you should let me know what the deal. Been peeping out your life, and you wanna let me slide. What you need to do right now is keep it real. I know you want me, girl, just like I want you. So stop running like you don't when you do. So if you're feeling naughty, and if you're really about it, and if you give me rowdy, my love gonna make you shout it. Feeling like loving me, feeling like kissing me. If you feeling like loving me, feeling like loving me. Tonight I'm before you. Let me come satisfy you for an hour or two. Baby, don't be shy, 'cause I'm not judging you. I'm coming for your love. Girl, let's talk about them things we could do. And let's be about them things we could do. So if you're feeling naughty, if you're really about it, don't you get me rowdy about it. My love won't make you shout it. If you're feeling like kissing me, if you're feeling like loving me, So we can love tonight. I'm trying to be for real. Wanna show you how I feel inside. Cause I know that you're feeling like love. Baby, yeah. If you feel it like baby, loving me, oh, let me hear you say yeah, say if you're feeling like coming home with sex tonight, let me hear you say
Hello. Brother P said, "Wake me up real quick." But as you see, conscious with a capital C, the young black Superman is not in the building today. So I'm gonna go ahead and do his segment for him. Conscious with a capital C, do your thing, do your thing.
You're getting docked.
Again,
I'm docked to get damn
again.
pay. Matter of fact, from this point on, it's a week.
You know, he does birthdays. I'm not gonna happy birthday to all the Libras and Scorpios for the month because I'm not doing all that.
Oh, yo, and by the way, Big Brother Dingle, happy born day, G.
Yep,
That's for you, homie.
I already told him.
I
See, Senora.
had to look out. I had to look out for my brother. Some more to be. You know what that is.
So anyway, we're gonna get on Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Encourages NFL teams to resolve the anthem problems or protests. This is getting out of hand. Like, y'all are doing too much. Let them be. You know, let them be. There's no issues. You're making the issues.
That's, you know what, this shows you how high and how far the pressure is, because now they're pulling off all the gloves, and you know, all these dudes, man, these cats up in there that own these companies, these billionaires or whatever, all these owners of the NFL teams, the president, you know, and anybody else and shit that's you know, ranting and raving about this shit. Now they're on Goodell about, hey man, you got to do something about this shit.
Yeah, he's trying to. What they're trying to do is to resolve the way to honor the flag and our country and respect players' opinions and concerns. Well, leave them the fuck alone. That's what you do. They're not doing nothing to you.
Here's one. How about some of you motherfuckers start addressing this police brutality?
Exactly.
There's an option right there. How about you start addressing some of this police brutality shit? How about you go talk to this fuckhead of a president about some police reform, some social justice.
Thank you.
Reform. How about that?
He's talking about we need to move past this controversy and want to do that together with our players. So the whole thing is just leave him alone. I just feel like leave him alone. So you have Trump, of course, who repeatedly criticizes the players and says, you know, he should no longer, well, the NFL should no longer get tax breaks. You know.
You know what? Speaking on that tax break, he's screaming, dude, this is how detached from reality this dude is. They used to claim exempt, okay, before under that what do you call it? The organizations, the nonprofit.
Yeah.
They used to go under that, okay? They let that go.
Yeah, I think
now they pay taxes.
Yeah.
This clown's talking about we're not gonna give you a tax exemption, we're gonna take it away from you if you don't. Homie, they already got rid of it. How are you? This is a sitting U.S. president. And this dude threatens people if they don't do what he wants. If he can't fire them, he goes to threatening them and shit.
Yep. So he's got a meeting scheduled with the player. Well, yeah, the team, the league, and the players, and he's talking about he believes everybody should stand for the anthem. So how are you just gonna say in one sentence that you're trying to pretty much make everybody happy both ways, but then turn around and you believe they should all stand? So really, you don't believe that
he
they
don't
should
want to cut his own throat.
Exactly. So
I gotta say this because if I don't, them motherfuckers are gonna get rid of my ass and cut off my damn paycheck. So he got to say, now I personally think you should stand, but it is your right. And also, the NFL doesn't have any rules against that. They don't. It's not delegated that they have to stand for the national anthem because it's actually not a law. Now he's talking about coming up with a class too. You know,
Yeah,
like
so
really, you want to talk it out now?
exactly. So he's saying also we want to honor our flag and our country, and our fans expect that of us. We also care deeply about our players and respect their opinions and concerns about critical social issues. Apparently, you don't.
No, you think deeply of the
You're
damn
worried about your
the
pockets.
dollar signs that they line
Exactly.
your
You're worried
pockets
about
with.
your
You could
pockets.
care less about them black folks running around in the goddamn field, except for bringing them dollars. And as long as they can bring the money in, then you take care of them. Other than that, after that, they're gone. Hell, they just came out with a study today. I saw a study where 5 years, it says an NBA player, an estimated after he gets done play, after he retires, 5 years after that, he's broke. The NFL, two fucking years.
Well, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But you also know, Jerry Jones took a knee, with his team before the anthem Monday night when they were playing Arizona, and now he's demanding that all his players, stand for the anthem or they're going to get benched. Then Miami Dolphins announced they want their players as well to stand for the song. So I'm like, you know what? Just I say stand your damn ground, continue to do what you do. They're gonna continue to lose money because at the end of the day, they cannot make y'all do shit. Yeah, you're on contract for playing football, not for fucking kneeling. So stand your fucking ground. Take money out their pockets.
And let it be known, so you ain't got to say nothing to them, but you stand your damn ground because just like if you said, you know what, you're gonna bench us, guess what? We're gonna go on strike. We're gonna turn around and walk out. We're not playing. Then you would be in renege of your contract, okay, by not fucking playing on that field. You're actually able to play and you choose not to, okay? You have a binding contract to do so. Now, if this dude tells you you can't play, why not? Because I didn't stand for the flag? Dude, no.
That ain't
Now
messing mine. You messed my contract.
Now it flips up. Now that shit flips the other way. You're here to play football, okay? If you don't play, if he don't let you play, is he still gonna pay you?
Exactly.
Now, plus in the NFL and basketball, they got incentives and shit on, depending on your position, quarterback, how many passes you throw, how many touchdowns, receivers, how many you catch, how many yards you, all that kind of stuff, running backs, how many yards you get, how many touchdowns, all that kind of stuff plays in extra incentives in their contracts. So if you don't let me play, then I'm going to be losing out on money. Now I can get you because you're not honoring the contract.
Absolutely. So can you get sued?
Yep.
Because you told me I couldn't play.
Yep. I was able to play and I wanted to play, and you told me I couldn't play. For what reason? Show me the NFL rules where it states that I have to. Matter of fact, pull out the law books to show me where there's a law saying I have to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I mean, all the rapists and beaters and people that you let just go, and you're complaining about somebody taking a knee. So you're telling me you believe in domestic violence and rape and shit, but it's a problem for somebody to knee and they're not doing nothing to nobody?
But you know what? You see, I seen like in these riots and people protesting and whatnot, these white folks, I see them burning the American flag right in the goddamn street, burning it, setting it on fire, writing all over the flag the whole nine. I don't see none of you cats standing up and hollering and screaming about that shit, the desecration of your precious flag.
Exactly. I agree, little bro. Fuck the NFL.
Man, look here. Hey, dude.
Up.
They didn't, man.
They doing the damn most.
They doing way too much, man. But it's like, fuck them.
So we got your boy Trump. He'll be the first president to speak at a hate group gathering. So they say, yeah, he's gonna address the Value Voter Summit in Washington D.C. on Friday. So he's becoming the first president to address the supremacists, fair right activists, and religious zealots. Yeah.
Boy, how's that gonna turn out, dude? He's already got these folks up with the green lights and shit,
This is going to be interesting. You know, he's going to share the stage with former Duck Dynasty star Phil Robertson, who said he wants to rid the earth of wicked gays. You got the Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, who said he doesn't know
This dude-
whether or not gays and lesbians should be put to death, and was recently removed as a state Supreme Court justice for instructing state employees to ignore the U.S. Supreme Court ruling in favor of marriage. Um, then you got Steve Scalise, who was recently wounded in a mass shooting in
Scalise, yeah.
Scalise.
Got his ass busted on.
Yeah, was saved by a lesbian police officer shot and killed, and he said the incident did not change his mind about gun control or LGBT rights. So this fool is finna get up here and fuck with them damn LGBT, and you know, oh, it's gonna be on and
Mind
cracking.
you, a sitting U.S. president, not past, sitting U.S. president is finna sit down. Oh, he finna sit down and address a known fucking hate group. You actually finna do that.
Mm.
Dude, now, hey, this just drives home our point. Okay, this drives home our point, man, that we need to get our shit together and stop fucking around with these people, man, because they are not out for us, at least not for our benefit.
She's so high. She's too high. Put on my best. Can't believe that she said yes. She's impressed. This could be the start of my happiness. She's so fly, intelligent, and she don't get high. Lord, you should see her thighs. It's enough to make any grown man. This girl don't even bother. But the way she fills out her pants, thank you, no to her father. Hey, yo, free, you understand? She's too high. The girl is too high. She's too high. The face she's in smells so good it must be a sin. But then again, it's too late 'cause I'm all in. I wonder if she would take me as a birthday gift. She can scratch a sniff, then love me down when she gets a whiff. What she don't know, I'll show her. Don't think she got much to learn. Oh, I don't wanna own her. Next page turn. She's too high. The girl is too high. Too high. She's too high. Too high. Put on my best. Can't believe that she said it. If she is impressed, this could be the start of my happiness. But she's so fly, intelligent, and she don't get high. Lord, you should see her thighs. It's enough to make any grown man. Most girls that don't even bother, but the way she feels like her pants, since thinking of to her father. Ew, fellas, you understand? She's too high. The girl is too high.
speakers bumping with the hip hop you love. Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio.
Pick up your microphones. Ha, ha. Pick up your microphones. Yo, how many mics do we rip on the deli? Send me say many money. Send me say many, many, many. How many mics do we rip on the deli? Many money. Send me say many, many, many.
I get mad frustrated when I rhyme. Thinking of all them kids that try to do this for all the wrong reasons. Seasons change, mad things rearrange, but it all stays the same like the love Doctor Strange. I'm tame like the rapper. Get red like a snapper when they do that. Got your whole block saying true that. If only they knew that. It was you who was irregular. Soldier soul for some secular music actors whack. Plus you use that loop over and over, claiming that you got a new style. Your attempts are futile. Ooh, child, you're puerile. Brainwaves are sterile. You can't create, you just wait to take my tape. Laced with malice, hands get callous. From gripping microphones from here to Dallas. Go ask Alice if you don't believe me. I get inner visions like Stevie. See me ascend from the chalice like the weavy. Indeed be like Clip Hum. MCs make me vomit. I get controversial. Freaking style with no rehearsal. Ooh, contraire move, friend. Don't you even go there. Me without a mic is like a bee without a snare. I dare to tear into your ego. We go way back like some ganja and Palico or Calico vision. My mind's making incisions in your anatomy. And I back this with Deuteronomy. Or Leviticus, God made this word. You can't get with this. Sweet like licorice, dangerous like syphilis.
Yo,
Yeah.
how many mics do we rip on the deli? Many money. Say me say many, many, many. How many mics do I rip on the deli? Many money. Say me say many, many, many. How many mics do you rip on the deli? Many money. Say me say many, many, many. How many mics do we rip on the deli? Many money. Say me say many, many, many.
I used to be underrated. Now I take iron, makes my shit constipated. I'm more concentrated. So on my day off with David Sonnenberg, I play golf. Run through Crown Heights screaming out, I'm so tough. Problem with no man, before black, I'm first human. Appetite to write like Frederick Douglass with a slave hand. Street pressure, word to Papa, I ain't going under. One day I have a label that make deals with Tommy Mottola. Mama always told me, you're one in a million. Always watch your back, never tangle with Haitian Sicilians. Now I got a record deal, how does it feel? I'm never gonna survive unless I get crazy like Seal. Cause the whole world's out of order. So at night the fiends dance on Grease with John Travolta. One got slaughtered as he caught blood from his mouth. The other tried to duck and caught a left with my Guinness stout. Brother, can't you get this through your head? This is set up by the feds, they scoping us with their infrared. How many mics do you rip on the deli? Many money, we say many, many, many. How many mics do I rip on the deli? Many money, say many, many, many. How many mics do we rip on the deli? Many money, say many, many, many.
Too many MCs, not enough mics. Exit your show like I exit the turnpike. Dicing dynamite like Dolomite. Double dudes bill like I don't dick Van Dyke. Starlight to star bright, the freaks come out at night. Like my man White Cloud. And my panage will marshal entourage. Squash the squad and hide their bodies under my garage. And when the cops come looking, I be booking too broken. Beat the trails broken, flipping tokens still Hoboken. A clean getaway like Alec Baldwin. Driving in my fast car, playing Tracy Chapman.
How many mics do we rip on the deli? Say many money. Say many, many, many. How many mics do you rip on the deli? Many money. Say many, many, many. How many mics do we rip on the deli? Many money. Say many, many, many. How many mics do I rip on the deli? Many money. Say many, many.
Peace. What's good? Thank you guys for tuning in. And as we always say, we love you guys' support. America's Nightmare is here. They don't like to hear that, but I don't give a damn. I'm going to say it anyway. And I mean what I say. I say what I mean.
Yes, he does. Anyway, I'm gonna come back in real quick. Jeff Sessions opened an investigation to stop Harvard from allowing so many black students.
Woo.
It's racist.
I knew he was they were dabbling into that, but but you know what, dude? People, don't be shocked, don't be appalled, and don't be all outraged because they're not letting your black students, your black children into a racist motherfucking college in the first goddamn place.
Yep.
They don't want us there in the first place. They only let a certain amount go there because they want to keep the laws and everybody else quiet. They don't want to be labeled as racist. So they let a couple get up into the college. That way they can say, well, no, we got black students here.
Yep.
Or if there's some genius, if you happen to be a genius or whatever, yeah, they'll let you in there because they want to use you and exploit you. But don't be upset because these motherfuckers won't let our kids up in Harvard. There's colleges all over this damn country.
Oh yeah. So he unconstitutionally threatened cities to suspend Fourth Amendment rights for immigrants, disbanded federal programs to promote community policing in minority neighborhoods, and aggressively expanding racially discrimination police power to seize people's property. Even some congressional Republicans are protesting. So he's going after the laws that give African Americans, Hispanics, and women an equal shot of being admitted to college. He's demanding Harvard University provide the Justice Department is demanding that Harvard University provide documentation on its affirmative action policies. So accusing them of using racial quota, which contrary to right wings myths is already unconstitutional and never used in affirmative action. So he's working with some folks to get the minorities to stop getting so many, and they actually, one student had complained her grades were mediocre, and she was complaining that they're letting the minorities in over her. But if these minorities are actually getting the grades and work to get their spot, then your mediocre grade, what makes you, but again, it's the WP privilege. You feel you got the WP. It's before anything. But so now this fool is doing that.
You know what?
He's doing the damn thing.
They don't want black students up in these colleges because they already know they already know what's going to happen is these students get up in these colleges, man, and they prove that everything they've been saying about black people, and the reason why you don't want to let black people in and shit is because we can't hang. We're not smart enough. You know what I'm saying? We're dumb. The whole our brains the size of peas and all that bullshit. We can't retain anything. We can't, we can't be educated at a higher level like that. Black people get up in these colleges, it starts to show these cats up. It shows that, oh, you guys were lying, and for one, and two, now Kip's ass, the dummy, the motherfucker who got there because his parent gave a nice donation to the dean of the damn college. You know what I'm saying? His dad is a senator or your dad's some kind of bigwig or whatever. So he gets there into their little fraternity and make sure when he graduates, he's going to get a cush job somewhere or whatever. But you got a black person that go up in there and he knocked that shit out the park. Really do the fucking work and knock it out the park. Goddamn. Now Kip's knocked out of a job. And not because Kip was smarter than this cat. It's because Kip is a dumbass. And that dude right there really proved that the proof is in the pudding.
Yep. So they're saying the GOP's been using their diversity programs as a punching bag. And in 2012, Massachusetts Republicans, they had falsely claimed that Senate candidate Elizabeth Warren was only hired by Harvard Law School because she pretended to be Native American. And they're saying the fact that she never listed herself as such on any job application, the attack struck, prompting Donald Trump to repeatedly slur Warren as Pocahontas with his racist ass.
Hey, but you know what? If you look at what Donald Trump is doing and look at all the people that he put in his cabinet, okay, the shit was rigged because for one, he didn't win the popular vote. They had to do they got him in there on the electoral vote, okay? He lost the popular vote drastically. I mean, just terribly lost that. But electoral vote came through and they put his ass in office because when they put him in there, all the big wigs that needed favors, they're like, we need to put his ass in that fucking office. Bro, when you get up there, I'm going to need you to do this.
Absolutely.
One being Harvard. Hey, you get up in there, I'm going to need you to, hey, we can get rid of these niggas. Okay? We're going to get y'all up in that damn wall. We can get you guys confirmed and everything, but I'm going to need you to do this for me. That's what the fuck he's doing. That's why he's signing all these damn executive orders, banning people and shit, man, and all this crazy shit, this outrageous shit that he's doing is because he made promises to people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He does
And they
his
knew he
drug
wouldn't give a
deals.
damn.
Oh, he don't give a damn. They know
They're like,
exactly.
fuck it, I don't give a shit about them niggas. I'm sit back, I'm gonna grab me some pussy and shit and goddamn tell that nigga to bring me a
My
goddamn
bed
cold
wench
beer.
Omarosa
Ooh, bed winch. Bed winch alert. I'm gonna make a damn drop for
and
that.
my buck. What's his name? Ben
Santa,
Carson.
yeah. Hey, Ben Carson.
Bend over, Ben.
That's one of the dustiest ass niggas I ever seen. He always looks just dusty and like he just woke up out of the sleep out of a closet or some
I
shit.
haven't heard nothing about him recently.
They put some pro sheen on your wig or something, dude. Fade that shit or something, man. Dust the suit off. Damn.
Where is he? Where is he?
Under Trump's bed.
I was gonna say under
When
the
Trump
bed or
go
in
to
the basement.
when Trump go to bed at night,
He did it.
Carson will roll his ass from out underneath that bitch and lay on his back and let that motherfucker put his feet on his stomach. Warm his feet up before he go to bed and shit.
Like root.
Ben Carson. Hey, now check this out, man. The FBI has come out with an assessment. Black identity. Black identity extremist. Yeah, black identity extremist. Okay, their assessment of what that is and the threat that they pose to the white society. Okay, and the black identity extremists are people like us here on this show. Okay, and anybody that's actually standing up to the establishment, standing up to the old face. Now, I'm drawing a comparison because, like I said before, early in the show, some of you can go back with me on this. Some of you can go back further with me on this, but back to all the way back to the Black Panthers and all that and shit, right? Well, history does repeat itself. I want you guys to listen. COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO. The FBI began COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, in 1956 to disrupt the activities of the Communist Party of the United States. In the 1960s, it was expanded to include a number of other domestic groups such as the KKK, the Socialist Workers' Party, and the Black Panther Party. All COINTELPRO operations were ended in 1971. Although limited in scope, about 0.2% of the FBI's workload over a 15-year period, COINTELPRO was later rightfully criticized by Congress and American people for abridging First Amendment rights and for other reasons. Now, you see they mentioned it was communists and they had the KKK and the Socialist Workers' Party in there. But you didn't hear them fuckers going after nobody but the damn Black Panther Party. Okay, they really went after these cats. And I had a memo, a copy of a memo from back then, explaining in there exactly what Hoover wanted done and the tactics that they were allowed to use to actually get rid of them, which included shooting them, murder, lying on them, setting them up with false cases and shit and putting them in prison, which some of them are still in jail today. A lot of them are dead. You know what I'm saying? Hell, look what they did to Bobby Hutton, youngster.
Oh, yeah.
Kicked down his door, him and his girl in the bed. She's pregnant. Shot him. Killed him dead. But now we have 2017, the FBI has come up with the counterterrorism department or division, and now they've started listing us, BIEs, Black Identity Extremist. Okay, and that's people like us. So what that would say to me is we're getting really, really close. We're stepping on a lot of toes. A lot of people getting really uncomfortable because that grip of control is loosening. Okay, which we already knew. All we got to do is just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Those of us that have the fucking balls to do it, to stand up and keep going, just keep going. Okay, we'll make some progress. Although I think,
like you said, as long as we're not fearing them, then they have something to fear. But if we're scared of them, they ain't worried about us.
Yep,
Not like they are, but they fearing us right now.
Running around buck dancing and carrying on
exactly.
and
They fear us
bootlicking
right
and
now.
shit. And yes, sir, look, mind you, there's no amount of bootlicking, bootstrapping, buck dancing, bed winching. There's no amount of it that's gonna make any damn difference to them. Once they're done with, once you served your purpose with them, your ass is out of there. They have no intentions on equality. All right, justice for us, none of that shit. None whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying it's all white people that agree with that shit. And if you're not one of those people, then this shouldn't bother you. What I'm saying, it shouldn't bother you. Okay? But honestly, all you got to do is open your motherfucking eyes, turn your head to your left, and turn it to the right. You see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you're fucking white, you know what I'm talking about because they run past you to beat one of us upside the goddamn head. So if you're not with that shit, then don't worry about it. It shouldn't bother you. What I'm saying, you should actually be over there like, yeah, I'm ready to go kick some fucking ass. Yeah, you know, they can't be doing that. You know, whatever. But
I ain't seen one yet.
We come back. I'm gonna read the perspective from the FBI of their assessment. Okay, we read part of it, the assessment Tuesday. I'm gonna read the perspective to give you guys a better idea of how they're describing us and what that actually means being a BIE. All righty, I guess not. I guess not. I guess. How about that?
She was so beautiful.
Okay.
The way she held me in her arms made me feel so young.
Yeah, what you at, man? You are young, man. Yo, T, you hear this, man? What is he talking about? This girl got a shot up again, man. She's too old for you, man. She's 25 years old, man. You're only 16 years old, man. What you trying to do? Come over here and take this, man.
She tried to flip me, she tried to blow my mind. I was only 16, she was 25. I was walking to school when she caught my eye. Surely looking good, she was so fine. She had that funky walk, her smile made me wanna hear her talk. She said she would do anything just so she could hear me scream. What am I gonna do? Just get married. What excuse could I use? Just get married. She's got me so confused. Just get married. I thought she was bluffing, just messing with my head. So I forgot about school, went to her place instead. She started to undress as I looked at her thighs. I can't pass this test, cause this girl is so fine. She had this funky walk, her smile made me wanna hear her talk. She said she would do anything just so she could hear me scream. What am I gonna do? Just get married. What excuse could I use? Just get married. She's got me so confused. Just get married.
You're only 16 years old, man. 25 years old, man. You are young.
She was so fine. She had that funky walk, her smile made me wanna hear her talk. She said she would do anything just so she could hear me scream. What am I gonna do? What excuse could I use? She's got me so confused. I thought she was loving,
Real hip hop, real talk. Only here on realhiphopheads.com. Conscious Radio.
Who is this? Baby, do you realize what time it is? What's up? Nothing's up. I'm asleep. Wait a minute. I thought you wasn't talking to me no more. Remember just the other day you was fronting me talking about my head was big now that I'm making records, you know what I'm saying? Oh, when did you make that change? Well, listen, I got things to do, you know what I'm saying? You got to get off my line, you know, straight up. You said you don't like the way that I am. But baby, I don't give a damn. After all the things you put me through, I'm not gonna take this stuff from you. Say that you can't believe that a man could be so rude. Hey baby, that's my attitude. You call me up on my phone telling me don't be cruel. Hey baby, that's my attitude. You don't understand why I'm acting like this. You want me to sit here and explain why? Listen, I'm tired of talking. Yo, out. Gave you my money, gave all my time. All you did was mess around with my mind. Then you go, find you without love. Want you to know, payback is a mother. Baby girl, and it won't come back, but it just ain't like no. Don't think for a minute, baby, I'm not with it. Saying you can't believe that a man could be so rude. Hey baby, that's my attitude. You call me up on my phone telling me don't be cruel. Hey baby, that's my attitude. That's my attitude. That's my attitude. That's my attitude. Let's say it. Can't believe that a man could be so rude. Hey baby, that's my attitude. Call me up on my phone, telling me don't be cruel. Hey baby, I can't believe it's you on my phone. You got to get up on out of here, my baby. That's my attitude. On my phone. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. I'm not your lover. I'm not your lover. Gotta let you know. It's over, baby. It's over, baby. I'm coming
Yeah.
Whoa.
Real hip hop, real talk. Only here on realhiphopheads.com. Conscious Radio.
And the real brothers and sisters. Bootlickers,
You know what's funny?
bedwitches, don't come here.
Listening to all these songs, it just bring back the good old days before
Yeah.
before all that mumbo jumbo came out.
Folks talking about they trying to rap with flapjacks in their mouth and shit. What the hell? Anyway, I mean, really, this we say this Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio. This is part of hip hop. Hip hop is not just rap. There's so many elements that made up hip hop. Because hip hop is a way of life. This is how we live. We grew up on this stuff.
Yeah. Sherman said, "Do we remember moving Philly?"
Move in Philly.
He said, CNN burned down a housing complex under Mayor Rizzo. I don't remember that.
Move in Philly.
I will be checking it out there, sir.
Yeah, we sure will. Sure. Hey, look. That's why we have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can comment on that. You can call us at 770-990-6399 and shoot it live on the phone. But we do want everybody's input because it's not just us. It's not just about us. We don't know everything. We know a lot. We scour the news feeds. We do our research, the whole nine. But if you got something else, put it in there. By all means, 770-990-6399. According to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, those individuals who seek, wholly or in part, through unlawful acts of force in response to perceived racism and injustice in American society, and some do in furtherance of establishing a separate Black homeland or autonomous Black social institutions, communities, or governing organizations within the United States are considered to be Black identity extremists. All right. In layman's terms, if the laws of this country in which you reside don't protect, represent, and or brutalize and oppress you, and you decide to stand up to and or strike back, you're considered an extremist and will more than likely be harassed, to say the least. This sounds much like the COINTEL program in the 1960s that dismantled the Black Panther Party for self-defense. It is official, Big Brother. The FBI has deemed the Little Brother, local police, insufficient in suppressing the new revolution for our inalienable rights. Make no mistake, Mr. Ofe is dead serious. He now feels threatened and will do any and everything to maintain power and control. Okay? Hence, the FBI's assessment of us now, the ones that are actually speaking out. Because you do know that they troll all of the social media networks.
Oh yeah.
All of everything that's social media. They ain't just got to be social media. Google, Yahoo, all of they troll all of that shit.
We're definitely on their radar.
Well, yeah, we're on there. If you notice too, if you get up under their skin, because what they'll do is they'll look at your social network pages and whatnot, and they see the stuff that you post, the stuff that you like.
They see the stuff, exactly, the groups that you like and all kind of stuff.
They look at all of that and they start compiling a file. So, and then once they start doing that, when they start tickling around with your damn account, and all of a sudden you can't use the name that you actually had, and they start making up all kind of excuses, and then telling you, well, we need this information, we need you to provide this, we need your real name, we need so on and so forth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why you need what? People don't use their real names.
They sure don't. You know how many aliases and nicknames people use on social media?
When they start doing that, then you struck a nerve. Okay, because the CIA, don't forget about them. The CIA had a shell company. It was a company that put up a shitload of money, started money for Zuckerberg to start the Facebook page and the platform. And it was a big tiff about it because, wasn't big. I found out about it, but it was a big disagreement, I should say, between Zuckerberg and his original partner, because his original partner got cut out because the shell company, well, it was a company, but nobody realized what company it was, but they gave a shitload of money to Zuckerberg to start it. They actually gave him way more money than he needed to start the damn thing. Come to find out, did the tracing back all the way back, the footprints, that was a shell company, not a real company, and then it actually was owned by the CIA. It still is. See, and they do that a lot. They'll filter money through movements or something that they want to get done. Okay, and it's nothing. It ain't nothing outside of them to actually go purchase drugs. Okay, or get drugs and then use that money to help this group over here take over these people. You know, it's not beneath them to do things like that. And they do it. There's tons of movies out there about the CIA and their drug running and all that shit. And people think it's just a movie. These things are true. You know, these things are very, very true. But that was a perfect way for them to actually start gaining and investigating people and getting information and building files on people. Hell, why not get this dude that money to start up that damn social media platform? That way we ain't got to say nothing. We don't have to tap no phones. We ain't got to do nothing.
Because it's all out
We
there.
sit right there and monitor the hell out of that shit. And these people are going to tell us everything we want to know.
Absolutely.
And they're not even knowing. But you know now. Do not put your shit. If you don't want it known, don't mention it on social media. Don't mention it on the wave, the air, nothing. Telephone, and you talk straight to the person. Mouth to ear. All right? If you write on a piece of paper, you better burn it and scatter the ashes.
But piece them together.
Hey, look, for real, dude. I mean, if you look at it from where we sit, okay, we come up in a day where there were no cell phones. Okay, when we were in school, wasn't no goddamn laptops. All these computers and shit in the school, it wasn't none of that. You had pencil, papers, and books. And we were still getting lied to then. But we had to rely on putting some shit on a piece of paper or running your ass over there and telling that person whatever the hell you want to tell them. Wasn't it just flip out your damn cell phone in the crapper at Wendy's or some shit and, hey, man, you whoop, whoop, whoop. No, you had to go physically tell this person, or if you weren't at home, find you a phone booth to pass your information. Nowadays, you ain't got to do that, man. It's just right there. And everything you do, they see it all.
Yep.
They see it all. So if you don't want nobody knowing, I would advise you, do not tell these people. But as I was saying, the exposure that's going on, man, and how threatened these people are. Okay, you actually can tell that they're really threatened because you mentioned the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, but the football with the Kaepernick protests.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's making some leeway because now they're pulling out all the stops, trying to get this thing stopped down. Now, mind you, don't be shocked if one day we come on the air and we tell you, hey, man, somebody got killed, that was involved in that thing. But that's just the truth of it. The nature of it is these people will kill you in order to get you to shut up. Kill you, fucking plant some shit on you, imprison you, whatever. They'll do it to get you to shut the fuck up. They've done it before. They'll do it. I'm quite sure they're still doing it now. But people, you got to realize they're using all these different methods to make you suppress you, to actually make you submit. And a lot of times you don't even realize you're submitting. But when you're watching that TV, and that TV is just giving you all these images, you see all this different stuff. That TV is giving you a message right there. You don't even realize that shit. But then you go right out and you do everything that you see on that damn TV. You got to be careful. You got to really be cognizant of what is going on around you. But we can only do so much. We can only say so much sitting up here on the air. We can only say so much. But this whole system of racism is fucking designed. Okay? It's no accident. It's designed to keep us from succeeding all the way around the board. They're not trying to let us go anywhere. They're not trying to let us get up on our own two damn feet. And you see, they're mentioning our communities.
Oh yeah.
They mentioned everything we've been talking about as far as the government. Like, you know what, man, you guys are full of shit. So what we want to do, we want to start our own community. We was, hey, you leave us alone. We want to go over here and do our own thing. They're mentioning all of that. Okay, they're mentioning every last bit of what we're trying to do, what we're talking about doing. They're talking about in this damn assessment.
Oh yeah.
And not to mention, you passing an assessment out to law enforcement, and it says on the damn assessment, this is not for everybody to see. Keep this shit to yourself. Don't go posting it up on the internet, no web pages, no none of that. This is for your eyes only type shit. People think, man, These dudes, man, they a bunch of damn conspiracy theorists, and man, they all that black power shit, and man, I don't got time for that shit, man. These white folks ain't done nothing to us. Shit, I got it good. Oh, cause you live in the projects? Oh, and you got assisted. You get help with your electricity. Oh, your food. Oh, general relief. Got you. All right. Oh, yeah, they even gave you the cell phone, huh? Oh, so you ain't got to pay for none of that.
Tap their cell phone.
Yeah, you ain't got to pay for none of that, huh? You so damn stupid. Here, take this. Oh man, that's cool. It's free. I ain't got to pay nothing. Shit, I'm coming up. I got Section 8, or I live in the projects. They gave me a goddamn phone I ain't got to pay for. I ain't got to pay for projects. I ain't got to pay for my electricity because I don't make no money because I ain't got a job. Shit, they give me food stamps. I buy my food. Then they give me a couple extra dollars so I can go down to the liquor store. You think you got it made. Man, you's a damn fool. But I'm telling you now, dude, is we can't say it enough. We need to stand up, dude. As much headway as Kaepernick's thing is making now, we need to come together. This shit needs to be organized in order for it to really have a strong impact. You gotta stay right there.
Everybody needs a little time away. I heard her say from each other. Even lovers need a holiday. Away from each other. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to stay with me. Oh. And after all that you've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise you, baby. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go. Curtains and me kept away, not for a day. From your body, not even a day. Wouldn't wanna be swept away, far away from the one that I love. Oh, now it's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to know. You to know. Hold me now. I really want to tell you I'm sorry. Oh, I could never let you go. And I will make it up to you. I promise you. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go. I can't let go.
Pure dope. I challenge anybody to tell me.
Brother Peace was in here harmonizing.
I challenge anybody to tell me who that was, and if you get that, who made the song? Who's the originator of that song? Now, as I was saying before we went to break, here's the perspective on the FBI's assessment on BIEs. Black Identity Extremists. BIEs have historically justified and perpetrated violence against law enforcement, which they perceived as representative of institutionalized oppression of African Americans, but had not targeted law enforcement with premeditated violence for nearly 2 decades, leading up to the lethal incidents observed beginning in 2014. BIE violence peaked in the 1960s and 1970s in response to changing social economics, attitude, and treatment of blacks during the civil rights movement. Ooh. BIE groups such as the Black Liberation Army, as the BLA, which was created in the early 1970s to take up arms for the liberation and self-determination of black people in the United States, engaged in murders, bank robberies, kidnapping, racketeering, possession of explosives, and weapons smuggling. From 1970 to 1984, the BLA was involved in at least 38 criminal incidents, including 26 armed assaults, 3 assassinations, 4 bombings, and 4 hijackings and hostage taking. Almost half of the attacks took place in predominantly African American neighborhoods, and targeted law enforcement officers without regard to their race, according to an open source database. Violence has been rare. BIE violence has been rare for over the past 20 years, and there's sparse evidence of any convergence with SCEs who adhere to Moorish beliefs, who had historically engaged in nonviolent fraudulent schemes, including production of fraudulent personal information documents such as international motor certification passports, vehicle titles, and registration and birth certificates. Now, this is the FBI, okay? And as soon as I saw this, when I saw at the title of it, Black Identity Extremists, the first thing I thought about was COINTELPRO. This shit is mirroring COINTELPRO damn near exactly. It's like they took a page out of COINTELPRO and just sped that shit up. Except now the names have changed. Instead of calling us communists, they're calling us extremists and terrorists now. Okay? They just changed the names and changed the personnel, but it's the same goddamn program. In any case, if you pay attention, if you really up on your shit, man, and you really listening, you won't get stung by this. You might be able to kind of get around this shit, man, and keep it pushing if you pay attention. Okay. Right. But to the people that don't want to pay attention, that just want to write this shit off as, man, that ain't shit, man. If I finna come down here in the hood, do shit. Man, look here. Then you talking about they're not, dude. What do you think they're doing? The law, the arm of the law, long. It extends a long ways. They got foot soldiers. Those are called the fucking police. The same fools that are shooting you motherfuckers in the neighborhood with no weapons on you, hands in the fucking air, walking away from them, shooting you dead in the fucking back, shooting people that's laying on the fucking ground, hands in the goddamn air, trying to explain to you clowns what the fuck is going on. Shooting people in the fucking cars when they're telling you, yes, I have a weapon on me. You ask, I have a license for it. Do you want me to get it? Yes, do it slow. And as soon as you reach, boom, they blast on you. And then they start looking around in the car. That same shit that was going on then. Matter of fact, what's his name? There was several of them. I know, what's it, Huey P? Or Bobby Seals. One of them, he was playing tennis. No, he wasn't playing tennis. He was actually in a meeting in Oakland. And they came and snatched him about the meeting and asked him where he was. And like, what are you talking about? Oh, they asked him when they picked him up. They asked him, where were you? I was in a meeting in Oakland. I had a room full of people. And they picked him up because they said somebody eyewitnessed him jacking 2 people on the court. They were playing tennis. And this is, I think, in San Francisco. He was in Oakland. They actually picked him up and accused him and then put him in jail and charged him, put him in jail, saying that he actually jacked those people. When he jacked them, he shot him.
Right.
I think it was like $12 or some shit. He was like, dude, I got a room full of people. I was in a goddamn conference. But this is the type of stuff that they were doing. Asada Shakur. That's why she's not here right now. She escaped, got the fuck on. But they've since proved that the cop that was shot and killed, the shit she got charged with, they've since proved that it wasn't her. This stuff was going on a lot back then. Here's a new day and time. Now, instead of charging people and saying, hey, you did this, we're going to lock your ass up, they just shoot you. Straight out. They walk up and just bust on you. And it's hard to tell people, what are you supposed to tell people, man? If I'm going to sit down with these white people, because you got Messy Jesse and you got fucking Sharpton out there, the pimp, and some of these other clowns that'll sit up there and tell you, and don't forget the bootlickers and bootstrappers and shit, these NFL motherfuckers. You know I'm talking about, Ray Lewis. And some of them other cats that's on that bullshit will sit up and tell you, well, we need to sit down and talk. Talk about what? Exactly. They don't want to fucking talk about the shit.
Hell, y'all got a hell of a plateau. Why don't y'all start it off?
Matter of fact, we were talking about earlier, the young girl in school that had been sitting down for the flag, and she like, long before Kaepernick. Myself have done it long before Kaepernick. I'm like, dude, I'm cool on that shit, dude. For real. The motherfuckers who tell me, oh, man, you're rebellious, man. You just being rebellious. Motherfucker, you should too. Stop skipping around, man, taking handouts and shit.
Stop being so scary.
Damn, but you want to sit down and talk to these people, and they don't want to talk to you about these issues, okay? If they did want to talk to you about these issues, they would already be doing something about the fucking issues, the police brutality and all that. But they don't look at it as police brutality because they got them out there doing that shit on purpose. It's control.
You know what's crazy is, I mean, you see these videos being posted and the comments that come from these white people, like you're seeing the video, right? And then you're trying to justify, well, he should have just complied. He shouldn't have did this. He shouldn't have did that. Now, a lot of them, you don't see them doing shit, and you still trying to justify it, and it's right there in your face.
And that's the media. Because when they show the video on the media, they'll be talking you through the shit and telling you what you're not seeing.
They're probably piecing shit
together. They're telling you how, perfect example of how they're telling you, well, you know, the cops, his life is in danger and he really has a dangerous job. These guys get up and put their lives on the line every day. Mind you, you're watching this cop and he just shot this black man in the back. Man has his hands up. He shot him in the fucking back. But you're talking about how dangerous the cop's job is. He has to go to work every day and put his life on the line and hoping he's going to make it back to his kids and such and all of that shit. You're sitting there looking at this shit and he's explaining to you what you're not seeing.
And we feel the same way.
Yeah, we
can't even go to the store without y'all harassing.
Now, at the same time, you want us to sit down and talk. Let me sit down and talk. How about you let people like me sit down with these people and talk? Okay, you want to talk? Okay, let's talk. But motherfucker, you ain't gonna like the questions I got. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna ask you. Because I mean, really, you don't want to talk because you're not planning on doing nothing about that, and you fucking slave ass mentality having motherfuckers that's out there with that. Let's talk. We got to sit down and talk socioeconomics and political justice and such. Dude, come on, man. Dude, they were talking that shit 50 and 60 years ago. You're taking pages right out their fucking book. Everything that they were doing damn near now today, 50 years ago, 50 years later, is over with. They overturned, this dude is overturning every fucking thing that was done. Overturning it all. The voters' right laws, affirmative action, all of that shit gone away with. They done put back in place those laws, basically, them Jim Crow laws and shit. That's why we have Jim Crow laws, Jim Crow 2.0 right now. Black laws, all of that. Black laws I'm talking about, back then, if you was walking on the street and you didn't have a job, they could arrest you. But of course, this is black people. Or if you got caught on the street with not enough money in your pocket, or you're walking on the wrong side at this time, all this crazy shit so they can lock black people up. Those are black laws. They got black laws now. Oh, you ain't got ID on you? You're walking down the street and I don't have no ID on me. Okay, I'm finna lock your ass up. What do you mean? Because you don't have an ID. It's nothing saying, it's not a law saying you have to have an ID. Absolutely. It just makes it really hard when you go try to get some business done or handle your business because you can't identify your goddamn self, but there's no law saying you have to have one. It's damn sure not an arrestable offense if you just walking down the street and a cop pulls up on you and you ain't got ID. He can throw you in jail. Jaywalking tickets. Who the fuck are they getting a jaywalking ticket in your neighborhood? And there's no crosswalk. No crosswalks, no lights, none of that flashing bells and whistles shit. But you can get a damn ticket. And guess what? You talked up to me, so I'm going to take your punk ass to jail.
Yep.
We're reliving all of this shit right now. You got public hangings. Okay, they're leaving bodies hanging in public parks where every fucking body can see them. They're hanging people and leaving them at fucking elementary school still hanging in the goddamn trees. But you want to sit down and talk. Motherfuckers, I'm talking. You want to sit down and talk, but they're going to sit up there and blow smoke up your ass and tell you, okay, well, we'll take into consideration these orders. Hey, thank you for coming down and give you a little cup of coffee and shit. Let you take a few pictures and shove your ass on out the back door.
Yep.
Because you start making your way through out that front, they're like, excuse me, you didn't come through the front door. What makes you think you're going to walk out of it? Nigga, get your ass to the back. Then you realize, damn, I can't go back and talk to my people because they told me these motherfuckers is going to do that. So I can't go talk to my people. So now what am I going to do? I got to save face. They don't want my ass to do nothing but buck dance and bootlick, kiss their ass. So now you're caught in the middle.
Yep.
On that fence, waiting to get picked off because you done sold your own out for these clowns. And as I said again, if you're white, if you ain't down with that bullshit, then this shit should not affect you not one bit. Okay? Hell, if you black and this shit offends you, that means you're a fucking bootlicker. You're a fucking bedwench. If this shit, what I'm talking about offends you, that means you're a bedwench or you're a bootlicker. Either way, you see what the damn FBI's got going on now. We know what's happening. They put together the packet already, so you can expect now, because they've already been doing it to this show. Okay, they've been fucking with the show shit for the past year now. For the past year, they've been fucking with this show. Turning shit off, Shit going blank screens and shit. Shit just ain't working. And shit.
Yeah, all my stories they just disappear.
Like, what the fuck is it
on my computer? I'm like, what the hell just happened? All of them. Anything that has to do with the government, it just disappeared.
But as I said, we're going to continue going through this FBI assessment, because there's still a lot of stuff in here, but I want to go through it in phases so we can actually go through it and explain some of this shit. But we will continue to go through the FBI assessment and the stories that we put to you guys every time we get on the air. Still inform you guys as to what's going on as we get it, to try to keep you guys up to date on everything that's going down. And as I say all the time, I can't say it enough. The people that actually tune into this show, whether you tune in live, whether you watch it later on, because all these shows are archived. And matter of fact, you guys might want to start catching up on the shows that you haven't seen, because in a minute, things might get a little hairy around here. Hell, we might be up here one day and it just go black, all of it. And then you might look up and all of a sudden the shows just start disappearing off our damn page.
A bunch of them already been blocked.
Yeah, they starting blocking. If they block it, it's one thing. If you block it in all countries, they're trying to shut it down. And we've noticed on certain shows, the ones they doing, like, okay, we really dug in them that night. They don't want that shit out there, but they're still trying to make sure that they can play it off and not act like they're really trying to shut us down, because they don't want to be seen as the villain now. You know what I'm saying? Because the movement is there. They don't want nobody pointing the finger, being able to say, hey, we know you did that. Because if that's the case, they can't move around like they want to. They like to move, covertly and whatnot, and behind the screens and all that shit. But in any case, we're going to keep coming with this shit, man, as long as we can. And if they get this avenue here, we have other avenues. I'm not going to mention it on air. Anybody wanting to know about it, you guys can contact us on the phone. You know what? I'll give you guys
write a letter.
Yeah, I'll give you guys the information on it, because we got some other issues, some other ways that we're going to be able to get the show to you when they start cutting this down, so we can continue, keeping it going. because we do need an avenue where information can be disseminated to a large group of people, because that's one of the things that kills a movement or kills an army or a group of people trying to advance or make moves. Communication. If you have no communication, that shit really hampers what you're trying to do. So we're trying to make sure we keep this avenue of information, this information highway, as you want to call it, keep this wide open so we can keep disseminating information on a large amount of people at one time. And if you have something that needs to be said, you want us to say it, go ahead and hit us on Facebook, Instagram, or call us on the telephone, or hit us on YouTube. All right. On that note, my brother Peace, America's Nightmare, Sister Ambition, Real Hip Hop Heads Conscious Radio. We out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen up.
What we're gonna do now is go back.
Worldwide revolution going on. In my opinion, young generation of white, black, brown, whatever else there is. We're living at a time of extremism, a time of revolution.
What is it revolting against? The power structure. The American power structure? No. The French power structure? No. The English power structure? No. Then what power structure? An international Western power structure.
And I, for one, will join in with anyone, don't care what color you are, as long as you want to change this miserable condition that exists on this earth. There's got to be a change. People in power have misused it, and now there has to be a change, and a better world has to be built, and the only way it's going to be built is with extreme methods.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us. Once those intentions are made known, we can get to the nitty-gritty of the problem. We can get to the core of the problem. We can get to the root of the problem. And then we can correct the problem.
For the people, by the people. 360 degrees of knowledge and hip-hop.
But knowledge itself, there's nothing I can't solve. At 360 degrees, I revolve.
Real hip-hop heads conscious radio.